Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We welcome you, whatever time and wherever in the world you are listening. We are pleased you have found us. You are now listening to Inside the Bunghole, a podcast taking you on a journey through wine. Together, we will learn more about this wonderful elixir of life. So raise your glass to welcome your hosts and partners in wine, Pam and James. You are now inside the bunghole.
Well, everybody, we are continuing on our field trip to Sonoma. And today, Pam and James are here with Angie from Auteur Winery.
Auteur.
Auteur.
It's very French.
Auteur. Okay.
Very French.
Auteur.
And besides the fact that this town is just absolutely so quaint and stunning, the tasting room at Auteur was actually a Sears and Roebuck catalog house.
Yes, yeah. 1915. Sears Craftsman house.
And I'm going to clarify. Yeah, clarify. It wasn't where you go to order. It was you ordered from a catalog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it came on the depot, the Sonoma Depot train. Is that half a block away?
Yeah.
So out of Chicago, it got loaded up on the train, came out on the train, and they just pulled it here and built themselves a kit house.
Right.
And how long has... tell me a little bit about the history of how you guys got it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, since it's 1915, many families have lived here over the time. There's an original footprint is there with the 2 bedrooms and Jack and Jill. And so we've kept that all the same since it's a historical house. But Laura and Kenneth Juhasz, owners of Auteur, bought this place 11 years ago now. Yeah, so we've been here for the past 11 years.
They have the forethought to buy it, claim it, and use it as a
tasting
room.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about them and their foray into winemaking.
Yeah, absolutely. Laura and Kenneth, this is basically their baby, so to speak. But they started in 2003 was their first vintage. So it'll be 20 years this year. So it's very exciting, very exciting landmark. Absolutely. So they met in Oregon, started the brand in Oregon, and then came to California. And, love and passion, selling wine out of the back of the car, case by case, and just super grassroots, and really had the passion behind it all. And came to Sonoma, found their niche here. Kenneth was a winemaker at some other locations, and did some basically consulting work with other people. So we was at Donham Estates for quite some time, almost a decade there, and then did a lot of consulting work and side projects because, when your baby's so tiny, it doesn't pay all the bills at the beginning. So really balanced it out and really got to know people in the community. But, focus is Auteur now, and that's we're building,
Yes.
And we're growing.
Growing.
Exactly, which is really exciting.
It sounds like they have amazing work ethic.
Absolutely. And, starting it off, from them with their 2 hands, really understanding what this industry is all about. And so they're just, it's true grit. It's true, out in the vineyards. So, Kenneth, being the winemaker, is also our viticulturist. I mean, he sees things all the way through. So it's just that hard work and down to earth. So
and
awesome.
You guys source your grapes, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a really neat way to look at our portfolio, basically.
Because I noticed there was 19 different different
To shop from, to look,
vineyards that you guys use.
Yeah,
which is insane.
It's crazy.
Especially if he has to have his thumbprint on all
Exactly, right? I'm like, do you clone yourself? How can you be? It's amazing. So the portfolio is incredible. Basically, we have micro leases and acreage contracts. So basically we have rows within a vineyard, and they're ours. We're not just purchasing the fruit. It's not all farmed the same way.
Interesting.
People get to call their pick dates, but they usually pay by weight, tonnage weight at the end of harvest.
You can own a row. Like that's your
Exactly.
baby.
And you
Come
go
visit.
out and there's not a whole lot you can do with a growing grape, but I mean, you're allowed to
Sing to it. Sing.
Sing, exactly.
Baby, like
Yeah,
a lullaby.
absolutely. Yeah, it's our dirt, our grapes. Kenneth farms them how he wants, and that was his philosophy. It's not, quantity; it's quality, and I want different grapes than just if I just purchase them.
Yeah.
So, started with a handshake back in the day, and it's grown to this amazing relationship. So it's working with great growers. That allow Kenneth to basically farm these rows how he wants. So it depends. Some vineyards are big and iconic in our portfolio, like Three Sticks. We work with Rob, the vineyard manager over at Three Sticks. We have Durrell and Gaps Crown in the portfolio. They're very big vineyards, right? So they have an estate farming company on site. So Kenneth will meet Rob, they'll walk the rows together, and then he'll say, okay, I want XYZ done, and Rob will have the vineyard crews execute that, right?
That probably helps during picking time.
Exactly. Now, there's some vineyards in the portfolio that we call pocket vineyards that you won't recognize the name to. They're in people's backyards, right?
Right.
Like as you're driving out and you see all these
Exactly.
vineyards.
Beautiful, speckled, right? With all these amazing
flying over.
vineyards. Yeah.
It was like, that's all you saw.
That's it.
And some hanging laundry. Like some yards have like their yard, but also grapes beyond their backyard.
Yeah. So those people don't have an estate farming company, obviously, on site. So we work with the same crew that we have for almost 20 years. They meet Kenneth at that establishment, and then they walk the rows together. And so it just kind of depends what they have in each vineyard. But Kenneth has complete control over them, which is
That's
really
amazing.
special to our portfolio.
And I didn't really quite know how that worked. I knew that there was a ton of vineyards.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does that work? But that's fascinating.
I thought you just pull up and there's just bushels of grapes and boxes, and you just
No.
put some back, put some in your truck, and then you got a row. These rows are your rows. That one, the rows over here are yours, and that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's start tasting so we can get through everything.
Yes.
Perfect.
And you tell us a little bit. I'm imagining we're starting with the rosé.
The rosé, yes. So what I've done for you is we're going to go left to right, top to bottom on the list. But I've gone a little sidetracked for you guys. I'm going rogue. So this is kind of fun. We're going to do a little white flight here. So this is our rosé, Pinot Noir rosé. This is coming from our Attune Vineyard, which is over on 8th Street and right next to Patson Hall here.
So delicious.
Yes.
Now, is this one of the smaller vineyards, or is the tuna bigger?
This is a relatively a small. It's 8 acres total. So it's Pinot Noir. So this is a rosé of Pinot, and it's just 2 hours with contact with the skin, and really Provence in style. So nice, and
Very light, yeah.
dry, absolutely.
Very dry.
That's amazing. 2 hours, swish it, and get out. You
Yeah.
got move on.
Well, now let me ask you, because this came up when we were talking yesterday.
That's a good color for
So 2 hours,
Yeah.
squish it or press it. Press, you want to be a little bit more professional. And then is that when they add all the fermentation, the yeast and all that after they press it?
So rosé is a little bit different, but yeah. So typically, a very generalized statement here is yes, that you would press your grapes and then you would put it in what you want to do, stainless steel typically. We do barrel ferments for our Chardonnay, so we put it into a barrel and it would ferment inside the barrel, or you put it into your tanks. We use natural yeast here, so whatever's living on the skins of the grapes, that natural yeast, will keep it in contact and it'll just start fermenting. Yeah, you hope it starts fermenting. We do, yeah.
That's wonderful.
That you have grape juice.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break, come back, and I want to talk about people that show up here, the kind of fun they have.
Absolutely.
Groups of fun and friends. And So we're going to be right back.
Okay, great.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!
Well, everybody, we're back. We're back with Angie from Auteur. Auteur. Okay, got it. And we just had a beautiful rosé to start off. Rosé of Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
2 hours of skin contact and thought it got.
Yeah, that's it. And your next ones for you is a side-by-side of our Green Acres. So we were with the San Giacomo family. They're the longest-running growers of Sonoma County fruit.
I've heard of that name.
Family is just absolutely amazing. So this is their Green Acres vineyard, but I've done a little mini vertical for you. Your glass in your left is the 2021 vintage. The glass in your right is going to be the 2020 vintage.
Oh, interesting.
So this is just a 1 year difference. Yes. So
Same
it's
grape,
fun.
same place.
Same bar,
different
same
year.
everything. So he made them the exact same way, but just wanted to show you what aging wine and most people think, oh, you got to age a wine for 5 years, 10 years, but you really don't. Just a year makes a really big difference. And so
Which is the first one I had?
This is the new baby.
that's the 21. And then that'll be the 20. So all of our Chardonnays are made, Kenneth style is more on the French style, but a little bit more in that Burgundian. So low new oak here. We only do 15% new oak and no malolactic fermentation ever on our Chardonnays. So none of that cream characteristic or butter in Chardonnay.
Is that what
you're
the
going to
Shaking it up, like stirring it, or
No, with the battenaging, that's a little bit different. Malolactic is turning malic acid into lactic acid.
And how do they do that?
So
And a lot of Chardonnays do this?
New World California style usually will go through malolactic fermentation. The winemaker can control how much that they want to switch over. They could stop it at 20%, 50%.
And that's what gives it the buttery.
The higher percent that you keep going will give it that butter characteristic.
And what is it that they put into it to make it, to get that fermentation process going?
A bacteria.
Okay.
I won't get too
technical
detail, but yes, you're pretty much going to add a bacteria, and that's going to start fermenting, and that'll switch it over.
And what you guys do is the natural. Whatever's on there is on there.
Well, we never. That's for fermentation, for the primary fermentation. This malolactic is the second fermentation, and we do not add the bacteria to even get started. So we are 0 ml. So light, bright, and more on that acidic side of things. So food friendly,
which I like.
I feel sorry for a lot of people like, I'm not wild about Chardonnay.
For years, I just started getting into Chardonnays because I didn't like
because you
them.
didn't like it.
But these are
crisp. Yeah, crisp and beautiful. And the difference between the years, was there any other weird like weather or anything like that had a significant impact on the tasting profile? No. Or is it just being in the barrel for that?
Yeah. So, for the growing years, what people will associate 2020 with is fires.
Yeah.
But this is white wine. Smoke taint gets on the skins of the grapes. So reds were really affected. But we picked before the fires. So our vintage for 2020 was wonderful. We had to drop some fruit we did drop our fruit for some of our vineyards for the reds. But the whites were really good for us. So that's not going to affect this. In 21, no issue, pretty
normal, kind of normal here.
Normal, if you can say normal
Normal
these days. I don't know, but So yeah, it's just showing kind of just aging a wine for a year. So a little bit more weight, a little bit softer.
Yeah.
The acid starts to calm down.
And that's in the bottle. I
That's in the
said
bottle.
barrel, but I lied.
Yeah. No,
I didn't lie. I just
So if someone's listening to this, the curb appeal to the house
Yeah.
is awesome.
Oh,
Then outside, you know, she have little flowers and a little vase and tables that sit around. Then the back porch here. So what a great place to come with some friends and hang out.
thank you. Yeah, we try to have some, it's what the guests want. We can dive in and get really geek out and get really specific and talk about dirts and clothes.
Right.
So if we want to do that, we don't need to do that at all. We can just talk about, travel and weather, but it's really a private tasting. It's really personable. And we try to, make the focus obviously on the wine, but also just have a great time. Wine is social. It's supposed to be fun.
Yes.
So we just want people to take a deep breath, relax, be in the presence, and just really connect with their friends and family and just have a great time. So we tried to make it a really warm, you're in a house.
Yes.
And I hope people feel very comfortable and just,
beautiful.
really connect. And
It's peaceful
the
there.
courtyard's really sweet.
And
we
if
brought in
somebody wants to come visit,
Yeah.
they just call and make a reservation.
Yeah.
I've noticed that most places in Sonoma and Napa are reservation only.
Yes.
Is it hard to get a reservation? Like if I came up and last minute and
Yeah.
is it fairly easy or
No, yes, it's not hard and it's fairly easy. Obviously your weekends might book out if it's
Yes.
a busy weekend a little bit in advance, but we try to be super accommodating. Every business is run different. They may have set times. We don't have set times here. So we say, what works for you and when would you like to come? And we try to make that happen. So, to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
So, same day.
But it's good because it's same day kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Because it's very personal. It's very sometimes, of course, we live in the amazing wine AVA of Temecula, California, and sometimes those wine rooms just get packed, and it's like you're not learning anything.
Yeah.
You're not experiencing, and
It's really hard.
So,
right?
so this just seems to be a lot more aimed at serious wine drinkers, like, that want to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to give that attention to you and to the wines. And
You even have our names on the little...
yeah, we customize and then we try, but it's that day. So, we're constantly changing the menu and having fun. So if you come one month, it'll be different the next month. And we'd like to do little mini verticals or blocks side by side and just show people what wine's all about.
Which I love. I love that vertical thing because being kind of new to the wine tasting world, it's like the grape, we like to be able to sort of side by side different vineyards. That sort of broadens our horizons.
It does. And I've been working in the wine side of things for 20 years now, and I still learn something new every day. I find this industry fascinating.
Fascinating. I found the more you know, the more you know you don't know nothing.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I think we're going to take a break, move on to some other wines, but I want to get your background, how you got into this whole round.
When we get back from the break.
When we come back.
Okay, very
Okay.
good. We'll be right back.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!
While we're here at Auteur, we nailed it.
Nailed it.
And we are tasting some beautiful wines, and we just got Angie just poured us a flight of reds.
Yes. So this is our Pinot flight here. So this is what Auteur does. We do lovely Chardonnays. We've got about 4 in the portfolio, vineyard designates, and then our Pinot portfolio is quite expansive. So this is really kind of fun for you here. So left to right, first one here is our Santa Rita. So part of our AVA collection here. So that's your American viticulture area, your appellation. What we're doing with those wines is we're taking our single vineyard designates and we're blending them together and just representing the AVA as a whole. So many people are like, what's the difference between Russian River and Sonoma Coast and Santa Barbara, all these different areas. So we just want to put a signature stamp on it and say, this is just a generalized, this is what the AVA kind of represents. So,
and is Santa Barbara in the similar?
So this is our first, so this is Santa Rita Hills AVA, which is down in near Santa Barbara.
Yes.
Central California here. So we've got a couple of different vineyards here that we've blended together. So representing Santa Rita here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, these AVA wines, they're really the fabulous crowd pleasers in the portfolio. There are entertaining wines. Structurally, they go great with food, but don't have to go with food.
Yeah.
So you can just enjoy and chat with friends, and meant to be really just fun.
Yeah, easy drinking.
Yeah,
easy drinking.
Alone, folding laundry.
Yeah.
Alone crying over
How did you get your wine background?
How did you start?
Oh, thank you. Oh, goodness. I'll try. I won't make it too long, but kind of exciting. I'm actually a Hoosier. So I'm from Indiana.
Who's your mama? Who's your daddy?
Yeah. Not a lot of wines out there.
There's not. There is what? There's wine. There's a vineyard down all 50 states. Woohoo! Go
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah. So
Ding, 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 ding. I told him we need to get a bell for anytime we get some new information.
yes,
There is a vineyard now in all 50 states.
in all 50 states now. So it's pretty. So there's vineyards in Indiana as very sweet wines, but not particularly for me. But yeah, I mean, growing up there, I knew the difference between red and white.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's
so,
about it.
Interesting story. The Guild of Master Sommeliers was doing basically a test. Not a lot of people were passing their first level.
Yeah.
So they decided, hey, do we need to redesign our test, or are we just not getting the right people taking the test? Do we need to restructure?
Are people stupid?
Yeah, what's happening here? Yeah, so they went around to the Big Ten schools, gave a free course for 3 days, and said, this is for us. So we want to see if people could actually do it and pass the test, who know nothing about wine, which is me.
Interesting.
So I said, great, I want to get out of class for 3 days. I want to go drink wine.
That doesn't sound like too hard,
Right? That's what I want to do. So I took this course, and it changed the rest of my life.
Amazing.
I instantly fell in love. I mean, it's so much you learn, right? I just sat there.
And
I just
3 days.
3 days. So obviously I didn't, it's so hard to learn everything, but passed the test, fell in love, and it just went from there. We started produce first Wine Appreciation Society. We held wine tastings weekly, and it changed the course of my life.
It sounds kind of like how we did, except for it was with a friend that said, "Hey, let me get you past 2 buck check.
Yeah,
let's come over here.
Come on the side." Yeah,
so a 3-day course, and you were like, "What?" Just mind blown.
Mind blown. So really, just my senior year at Purdue, we said, let's go to wine country, and let's really dive in. I have a restaurant background, so I was always wine and food. I ran the bars, picked the wine. I did the tastings, but I wanted to come see wine country, so. We came through Sonoma, and I said, oh my goodness, this is where I want to be. This is charming. And 20 years later. Here, I came to check it out, and here I still am.
Wow.
So, but worked at obviously various places over 20 years. But
Did you continue on with your son?
yeah, I mean, I continued. I took the WSET classes. I took the Santa Rosa JC has amazing courses. So I've done some really fun courses with them just to keep the knowledge going, you know, and learning. So I've always tried to stay on top of that side of things.
Have you ever done any international traveling?
Oh my goodness. I have a bucket list 1,000,000 miles long, but not for the wine side. I've done Australia and New Zealand, and we did the wines of Australia and New Zealand, but you know, I still want to go to Italy and France and all those amazing places. Actually,
Still there. It ain't going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. It's been there for a bunch of time, long time.
So
Almost as long as Sonoma.
So tell me about the second one we have in front of us.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Gap's Crown Vineyard.
So different.
Amazing, iconic vineyard here in the Petaluma Gap, Sonoma Coast AVA. And this is a fun side-by-side. What we've done here is both Gap's Crown, but we've done a block variation for you. Okay. So, you know, when people talk about how blocks can be so different, this is the first time. Kenneth is always trying to do really fun things for our club members. 1 year, you know, he did a separate bottling of clones. 1 year he did oak versus no oak. So he's always doing some really fun things for our members. And so a lot of people ask me, well, does it matter that block from this block and that row from this row? And we're like, yeah, it does actually.
Now,
so,
is it a block in the same vineyard?
It is.
Wow.
So this is also, the one on your right is also Gap's Crown, but this is referred to as the bolt block because a lightning bolt hit the tree in the middle of the block, and so we nicknamed it the bolt block here.
Smell is even,
but it's
The second one at the bolt. Mm-hmm. The smell. I mean, this is weird because smells personal.
yeah.
Flintstone vitamins. Just a hint.
How fun!
When I was a kid,
Takes you back to your childhood, huh?
And I know it's weird. I know that taste is just your own. I mean, smell is your own gig.
Yeah, but I love how it takes you to your memories, where you were at, who you were with, growing up. Yeah, it's so, wine is so fun like that.
Do you think wine tasting, people enjoying wine, do you think it's less snobbery lately
than it
was,
has
maybe,
been.
or people perceive once they get into it a little bit, or
I mean, I hope so. I don't. People who enjoy wine, I hope they don't think it's, you know, snobbery. And the people who, you know, get into it, we just geek out a little bit about it. But
and that's how I feel like you know
have the blessing of running into geeks.
yeah,
yes.
And we occasionally, as we got confident, we have met a snob or two. And it's like, I'm glad we didn't meet them first. Going out the gate.
Yeah.
Because it would have kind of scared.
Yeah. But all in all, most of the time, it's just imparting knowledge. It's like, you know, and know that I don't know everything at all.
Yeah.
You know, but the people that we have
both so different
that we've met have been, by and large, just wanting more people to get into it.
Yeah, it's so we want to talk about it, and it's just so fun. It's again meant to be social and fun. So that's what we try to make it.
You were going to ask about the
wine club. Talk to me a little bit about the wine club and what kind of events you have.
Oh yeah,
I love that you said that he does some of these fun little comparisons, and that's very cool.
It's really neat. Yeah, and our club is our family here, so it's really incredible the people who enjoy our wines and just be a part of our community and our family here. So we know everybody's names and grandkids and dogs, and we just have a great time. So our club is really special. We have a club that, you know, 2 different tiers basically. Our appellation wines, they get an allocation of our appellation wines, and then an allocation of our single vineyard designates. So it's just 2 times a year. And the wines are so small. Our vineyards can, from people's backyards, right?
Yeah,
They're not big. So we usually stick around 6 barrels or less from each vineyard. So the perk of being a part of a club is getting our wines. Club members receive the first allocation, and then some wines I don't even just club get them because they're so tiny. Yeah, like our Chardonnay upcoming in the fall, we just did 2 barrels, 50 cases.
Yeah.
Club members will get it, and it won't even be released to the public here for purchase. So it's,
Get in on it, people.
Just getting an allocation of the amazing wines, which is really fantastic. And then for members, we do 2 lovely parties upon the release, when we do a spring release and a fall release. So we'll do some great mixers and, wine and food and have fun. And so
Doing just enough, not conquering and making so abundance or
Which, quality, like you said, quality versus quantity.
Exactly. Absolutely. So we're going to stay small and handcrafted and, get that club their first allocation for sure.
Do you
And you do
ship as well?
Yeah, they get on the 2 here. You get complimentary shipping.
Yeah.
The Explore and the Discover. It looks like there's actually 3 levels, but
Yeah, just the Venture Club receives 12 bottles 2 times a year, where the Venture and Discover
they
receive
all get
6.
complimentary shipping.
But they all get complimentary shipping. So that's a
That's a
lovely.
huge-
I'm trying to hold on to that, but these fuel prices are not being so friendly. But that's I would love to continue that and keep that going. For
And
members.
they've got one's the single vineyard, and then the other is the ABA, which is very cool.
This is so worth the trip coming out here in this historic Sears and Roebuck building. It's amazing.
Yeah, and just to finally come out here and to get to wander around the streets and see all the cool,
Town Square.
it's just beautiful, and the wines are incredible, really, really good.
Yeah, I'm personally picky in this industry because we get spoiled, but the wines, are just so balanced and beautiful and structured, and really just really. Kenneth knows what he's doing.
He does.
He does.
Really
He does.
wonderful.
So how do people get involved or find out more about your wines, and the ones that maybe aren't right in your backyard, which I kind of feel like we sort of are in your backyard because we're close enough to take a quick
Visit.
quick cheap plane trip, but there's a lot of people that can't. So how do they find out more and become perhaps members? Or
Yes, thank you. I would say check out our website, auteurwines.com. But feel free. We're a very small team here. Again, family here. So there's 5 of us. So give us a call. You'll talk to one of us, and we can get you some information. Get some wines to you. But call, email, text. We've got all the means of communication. But would love to hear from you.
very good. Great wines, great interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will definitely because we will be back, because this was our first foray into Sonoma, Napa, and can't say that we're not blown away. Not absolutely blown away.
Yeah, with all the little shops and restaurants, and it's just so charming. So you have a lot to discover. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And you guys, it's Auteur, AUTEUR wines.com.
Yes.
And we've had the pleasure of hanging out with Angie and enjoying some beautiful wine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Cheers.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!